Pollux crossed to the center of the ring, his sandals kicking dust about as he approached his foe. His hair, light and straw-like hue, waved, and his head rolled on his shoulders, loosening. The hide wrapped around his hands tightened as he stood before his adversary. "You enter the ring unarmed." His opponent, who spoke those words, was a knightly man, bearing a sword in scabbard at his side. His armor was polished and ready. His features were hardened from fighting. A confident smile crossed his face. "I don't see a need for a weapon." "And you expect to fare well in a match against me? I am an accomplished knight, having bested all but one knight from my terrace. Lacking armor and with no means of defending yourself, this will only end in your death, if you do not forfeit quickly." "That is for us to find out, isn't it? Draw your sword and prepare yourself however you'd like. I'll be waiting right here for you to make the first move." "I wish to follow the rules of fairness, my king, but it appears he is a fool, and a fool alone." The knight's sword was quickly pulled from its scabbard and leveled at his foe. A glimmer of sunlight ran down its razor's edge, and he entered an offensive stance. Perhaps I am. Are you ready or not?" Pollux drew his hands upward with the taunt and extended them in front of himself. A boxing stance with his right knee pointing toward his foe, and his eyes trained on his opponent's feet. "Yes, I'm ready as I'll ever be. Now, before I fell you, state your name. That way I can give sympathy to your fellow heathens." "My name is Pollux. This has already dragged on long enough. Let's get this going." "You're just insane then. Fine. By my name as Sir Lamorak of the Table Round. On guard!" The knight Lamorak tore forward, his blade gleaming as his shield-bearing arm gave the lead, each footstep clattering against the ground as his hair, long and raven, twisted about. His swing, strong and fast, was cut off instantaneously, his armor collapsing in on itself and his eyes nearly leaving his head. "Ka!" His voice managed to escape, as did a long strand of quickly reddening spit. His boots were already pulled from the ground as the single punch nearly ripped through his body. A moment later, he was sent through the air. He crashed through the arena's far wall and the debris shot alongside him, before collapsing about his frame when it met the ground. Pollux's right hand, which had thundered into Lamorak's core, was placed at his side once more, and he turned to walk back towards his terrace. "I won. What arrogance." As he continued to walk away, several people scrambled from Arthur's terrace toward the pile of rubble now far outside of the arena. The woman who sent Siegfried away in a blaze of fire after his match seemed to make her way, moving beyond Pollux, who spoke to her. "They won't allow you to take him. Turn back to your terrace. We're heathens to them, unclean from an era long past." "It is still my duty as a Valkyrie." "Best of luck to you then." Astolfo seemed to shiver within Charlemagne's terrace, his eyes shaking at the sheer carnage caused by a single blow. "That was only one punch." Susanoo began to stir from his unconsciousness, his eyes turning to the standing warrior in his terrace.
Momotaro, what was that noise?"
"Lord Susanoo! One of the combatants just won their match with a single punch! It destroyed the side of the arena!"
"Is that right? Someone finally stepping up and using their full power. Looks like the Monkey King may have another worthy opponent yet."
"Sir Galahad, would you help me move this stone aside?" Gawain questioned his fellow warrior, his hands placed against a massive slab of the Colosseum. "Of course I can." Before Galahad could fully reply, he was cut off as the stone was moved aside almost magically. Standing in the space between them, the woman, clad in a breastplate and skirt, wings radiant as an angel stretching from her shoulders. Her hand was raised, having cast aside the stone. "Come, O great warrior! Valhalla awaits." As she spoke, the air shimmered. "He is not going with you. Our customs will not allow it, fair maid." "If that is the case, then, I will take my leave. I will leave you to bury your own." Bowing out to Arthur's demand, she turned and walked away. "Really? You won in a single punch?" Achilles spoke, flabbergasted. "Yeah, a single punch. I told you it'd be quick." "Ha ha ha! Oh, not bad, Pollux. Rich coming from you, Heracles. I saw you tear the land from an island. I doubt you would have even flinched. Ha! Ah, 'twas a fun boat ride, the Argo. A shame that we did not allow you to tag along, Atalanta.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Atalanta rolled her eyes.